Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, representing Team King Games, of course. And today we're going to go ahead and go over an update on my Herald of Perfection deck. These are my babies, man. Y'all know how much I love this deck. I took it today to my locals at Card Shack, and I was just fooling around with it. They did not get a tournament today. I guess the person that was at the shop had to go really early, so unfortunately they didn't host a tournament. So basically I just ended up playing a bunch of people for fun and savaged like everybody. And a lot of people were getting like majorly salty. And I was starting to realize, you know, like, because a lot of people are already testing out their Pendulum Magician list and stuff. Like, I was letting them proxy Electrum and all that. I was like, you know what? This format might not be as hand trap heavy as before, since Pendulum Magicians are the one deck that can't really afford to play hand traps that I guess excessively. I think the best they could play is probably like a couple of Ashes, you know, some Ogres and Maxi. And like every Pendulum Magician deck that I played, I absolutely savaged, even going second. Like, I went second, you know, he popped my first Herald with the trap, because the trap, he chained it to the activation of Dawn. I made my second Herald, and, like, I OTK'd him that same exact turn. It was ridiculous. Like, I was just going off, man. I was going to town on people. And, like, the deck, it really reminded me of why I always played this deck. Like, before Zodiacs came out in Raging Tempest, this was actually the deck that I took to every regionals, every YCS, like, every single event, and this was, Raging Tempest was before Maximum Crisis. Ash Blossom didn't even exist. Ghost Ogres, 3 Ghost Ogres, and Maxi was the standard hand trap lineup. It was just 4 hand traps. Ghost Ogre didn't do crap to me. You know, Drone Lockbird wasn't even popular. It's like people didn't know the card exists. So I was always whooping people with this deck. Like, they had to kaiju me. That's when I started doing like barrier statue shenanigans. Long story short, the deck is looking to be more promising than it's ever been. And I might go back to my good old faithfuls, because honestly, I feel like I know this deck so well that no matter what, this is a deck I can play so comfortably and so, you know, so masterfully. 3 copies of Herald, he's the man. Like, this is my best friend right here. 3 copies of Princess Katana. Hiya! This lineup is never going to change for me. You can play, you know, 2 of this, but always play 3 Heralds. Trust and believe. You will regret it if you don't play 3. Even if you can win off of 1, like, you got to see the card. Like, if you open up with Herald or Benton or the Ritual in hand, that's already 1 less card that you have to search. Because basically everything that's not Herald, Benton, and the Ritual spell is all cards that search it out. You're just trying to get to those 3 cards no matter what. 3 copies of Gale Dagra. Gale Dagra was a card I originally was on the fence on. Fence about, like, my first 49 builds. Like, I had 49 different builds that were all different from each other of Herald of Perfection. They did not have Gale Dagra. This is variation number 58. I miscalculated on the math. The last build I did was actually 57. I don't know why I said 54. One of my subscribers even corrected me on that. But this build, it's catering Gale Dagra more and more. Like, it's using Gale Dagra to get to the Eva. Like, my go-to board, if I open with Gale Dagra and a pre-prep, or Gale Dagra and a Benton, or a Dawn of the Herald, I can get Christia, Proxy Dragon, Herald, and also Eva in hand, plus 2 more cards, which is actually 5 negates. It's GG. So Gale Dagra is pretty insane, and he loads your grave with the fairies that you need for your Eva, so you can actually pitch Eva as your first or your second card, and it's really, really cool how you combo off. 3 copies of Handy Manny, my helping hand. This card, it's either this or Gale Dagra. They're going to be your searchers. Sometimes I just hard draw the cards for Herald, and then also you search the pieces that you need off Herald for your preps, your pre-preps, and your terraforming, and your Las Vegas, which is Optimus Prime Las Vegas. And continuing the best combo in the deck that's not Eva, it's going to be your stick chair. This is how, like, this deck plays through boards. It's how it breaks boards. It's also how you can rip a card out of your opponent's hand to begin with and make your opponent have less cards for you to negate, so that, you know, you just have to, you don't have to worry about, like, wasting all your resources. Because that was, like, another thing that I've had in the past with this deck. Like, even if I negated every card in my opponent's hand, I only had, like, Herald and Amanju on board, so I can only attack for 32 next turn. And I don't like the duels lasting very long. I want to be able to kill them right away. So this also helps you to be more aggro in that sense. 2 copies of Honest. You really only need 2. Even though it's at 3, I understand the ban list actually did us justice. I was very happy at the recent ban list that had released Prep to 2 and Honest to 3. I felt like indirectly Konami was telling me, 3 Stacks, go back to playing your Heralds, because I was playing True King Yang Zings. And funny thing, the same list is when they hit my Dinlong and my Lathosa Gem, but gave my Heralds more power. I was like, oh, maybe like some like outside power is trying to influence my decision to play Heralds again. But 2 Honest is all you need. You special summon it back, you search it. It's just too easy to get. And then we have my Eva package. I'm playing 2 targets for Eva because I'm greedy with the Eva play. Naturally, you can play 1 target, but sometimes you'll draw the target first, and then Eva becomes like lackluster. And she's like more or less one of the most powerful plays in this deck. Like, people don't understand how strong Eva really is. They did not make this card for counter fairies. They made this card for 3 stacks. That's what Konami did for me. That's why when I opened up my my structure decks in that video, I put the title of the video, I guess Konami does care about me, because like they made a card that it doesn't make sense. Like, I resolved this playing against Pendulum Magician players, and like this card was what won me duels. Because I would this would be my 1 discard. This would get these 2, and I would negate 3 cards off of this 1 and keep my stick chair in hand that I searched off of, you know, the Gildagra play, like, which it was crazy, dude. So Eva is just like a blowout. I really feel like this card is low-key ban-worthy the way it's used. Like, it just wins you duels. So Eva comes as a package. These are still good even without Eva. This is basically a hand trap that negates other hand traps. It negates monster effects. It's also a tuner, which gives me access to Omega. And if I want to, I can actually use this and this to make my own Herald of Arclight and have Herald, Baby Herald plus Big Herald, which is something that, you know, you can do if you choose to. This searches your Princess Katana. Hiya! And then Christia, because it's too easy to get. Before I was playing Gildagra, this card was not that easy to get out. It wasn't really possible to get it out first turn without wasting resources, and also Master Rule 4 wasn't always a thing. Now that we can link summon and play Gildagra, it's like too easy to make Christia. Like, you get it almost every single first turn. That's it for the monsters. All the monsters except Gildagra are obviously just going to be food to negate with Herald. For the spells, you have the best spell in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Pre-preparation of rights, and also my favorite spell, 2 preps. And also, this is something that most people are, like, you know, in disagreement with. I've always played Pot of Desires at 3 since the card came out. In my Herald of Perfection list particularly. Not every deck I play 3 pots, but in this deck, it's really important because this deck searches everything out so easily. You never have to play pot first and pray that you get, like, better stuff. You always are able to play pot after you've made your board, after you've done your combos. And what pot does is it just draws you the fairies that you need. If you have three fairies in hand, you're like, dang, you know, I can only negate 3 cards. Even if Christia's on board, our opponent can't special summon, which, you know, makes a difference. But Pot of Desires becomes like 5 negates. It's crazy. Give me 1 second. I gotta see something real quick. All right. Sorry about that, guys. That was a little awkward. But yeah, Pot of Desires is just amazing. The +1s matter. Like, this is a +1. Pot's a +1. Stick Chair is a +1. And also your Gildagra's a +1. Like, some of the god hands of this deck are when you open up Gildagra, Pre-Prep, and Pot of Desires, like, you win the duel. It's really, really crazy. Something that I teched out in the past was actually ciphering Gamma and my Herald variation number 51, because I was actually playing the deck like against spirals and stuff like that, and I needed the Gamma to counter some of the hand traps. But I feel like with the Eva combo, being able to search the Herald of Arclight, it helps me out more to, like, stop hand traps from stopping me. Then you have 3 copies of Las Vegas. It's just too darn good. It's never-ending searches every turn. It's a monster reborn. Like, this recovers from strike plays. Like, when my opponent Solemn strikes my Herald, I just reborn it back off the field spell, and then they're like, dang, I forgot about this card. Like, there are times that I use this. Like, my Soul Charge is currently in my Blue Eyes, but, like, there are times that I use this. I, like, Soul Charge for 1, and then I use this Special Summon by putting the Soul Charge back, like I did a Stick Chair play. In the middle of the Stick Chair that I actually made possible through Soul Charge and this, I drew the Soul Charge again, and I did my Stick Chair combo. I did all that, and I used Deltaros. Like, I popped a card, and then I linked off, I Soul Charged for 3 the Stick Chairs, and then I linked off the Stick Chairs and the Deltaros, and then I made Borlo. Like, it was just stupid. Like, this field spell just makes a lot of the stuff in the deck that's not supposed to be possible. Like, you're not supposed to be able to Soul Charge more than once. You're not supposed to be able to, like, Upstart more than once. You know, it's just a really, really powerful spell because it recycles any spells. 2 Optimus Prime to search it out. I like the 2. I don't want to see too many of this card in hand. Granted, yes, this is more ways to get to Herald, but just from personal experience, I have a lot of experience with the deck. 3 never really works out for me. The new cards that I'm playing in the main deck that I was always playing in the past, but I decided to put them back in today, are actually Upstart and 1 Day of Peace. what I wanted to do with these was I needed spells to load my grave for Sanctuary, and also I needed more discard fodder because I was doing like test hands, and sometimes I would open with this but no spells, even though you play like, you know, a lot of spells, right? So these just help in multiple ways. Like sometimes Upstart acts as a spell in grave, and then it draws another spell, then you pitch it with this, and you're able to like reborn your Herald, do stuff like that, stick chair all over again. It's really, really clutch. 3 copies of Dawn. It's like the most important spell. It's the only spell that you like. If you lose this spell, you can't really play. So this is like the only spell that you can't banish all 3 of off of Desires, and it's never happened because I normally Desires after I already ritual summoned with one of this, which is really clutch. And the extra deck is pretty like, it's like not mandatory, I guess I'll say like that. These are like Mando because, you know, Gildagra. You can also play Elder Entity in the T's. You can also play multiple Omegas so that you could just dump these instead of like, you know, targets for Gildagra. Just do some different stuff with Gil, but I always just dump these because all I'm trying to do is just get to my combo. Omega's easy to make because of Herald of Orange Light, and you can also make these if need be so. And those are the synchros. And then the stick chair package. I just like still playing the diamond because just in case you're playing like Light Sworns or like, you know, BAs, any decks that are milling, this just stops in. It also negates dark monster effects. Like there's a really, really cool lock with this card in the BA matchup particularly. Even though BA is not that relevant, it's still a deck that's played. The Utopia package, pretty fat, juicy. A Tornado Dragon, a Dweller. My favorite, the actual Pom-Pom Girl. Little baby Pom-Pom Girl. She's such a cutie. I love her a lot. And then we have Decode Talker, Akashic, and Proxy. You always make Proxy over Ib. I understand people have even told me, why don't you play Ib? Like this one dude was even like, you're a retard. Ib makes perfect sense. I'm like, for one, if I put Ib in the extra deck monster, it's not pointing to anything, so it doesn't do anything. And for 2, Proxy is a light, and I always search Honest because after you do your Gildagra play, your light points are so low, you don't want to put a monster like Ib there if your opponent can just attack for massive damage. So it's not a smart play. I like the Proxy Dragon. And that's the deck profile, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. God bless you. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. And stay tuned for future content. Peace.